Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55. It's the Tier 9 American SPG. It's located on the eastbourne of Studzianki, and it's under the command of Angelina75 of OLIMP. And yes, this is part of the competition. She's got the bounty rammer, improved fence, and the bounty gun lane drive. Game on! She's also got the vent purge as well, which will increase the speed of reload quite a bit as well. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. That's an 8-inch howitzer. It's the M55. And Angelina's well practiced with this Arty, and she's ready to go. Now, this is the first replay that we've actually had from the couple, from Talon and Angelina, in a couple of weeks. And the reason for that was that we had a massive number of replays in from so many different people. And oh, what happened there? I think that was a sudden problem with the replay. I'm afraid, yes, it's probably my computer that actually did that rather than the actual program itself. But anyway, yes, the enemy is counter-battering. So Angelina moving actually saved her from getting any damage at all. Yes, so we've had a lot of replays in, and as there was only a couple of replays, or it seemed to be only a couple of replays in the prior week, they didn't actually get put into video. But we've now found out that there was actually 4 videos during that week, and some of them were on the same, around about the same date. And obviously I didn't realise that, and watch it. Well, yes, he's definitely trying to get Angelina, but he's failing because he just can't find out where she's going to be next. Angelina's being very careful to move far enough that the enemy cannot get shots on target, which means he's wasting his shots going after her when he could be going after enemy tanks. There's 2 enemy Artys, both M53 M55s, but they are, one of them is obviously wasting shots which will actually affect their team at the end. Angelina knows the advantage you get from actually stunning the enemy tanks and then allowing your teammates to do damage to those tanks whilst they're stunned. Because of course then stun assist helps you to get a high mastery, and of course it also allows your teammates to actually end up winning the game. Unfortunately that one didn't actually damage the Basante, but there was another tank in there, and so she probably got some splash on him. Now, for those of you who don't know the story, there's a competition every week for the between Angelina75 and talon1958 to get the best RT replay that you can. And it's based on, oh, you'll see in the bush. Okay, let's see if she can put this on target. He's just taking damage, rounds out. Yes, she got him! So now if the enemy saw that, he's going to be thinking, oh, right, I'm going to counter battery Angelina, but it's not going to work. She's not there. She got the first kill for her team, though. Yes, so the competition is run every week and it ends on Sunday morning. Whoever has the best replay by mastery or by number of medals or by win 8, it's on a strict basis, calculated based on the highest or best result. Then they get the weekend lie-in and they get breakfast in bed. Angelina does tend to get a lot of these victories. She was trained by Talon. She's getting very good, actually. Very difficult to defeat. And the enemy fails again. He fired where she was, not where she is. The shell landed just a little way to the north. So yes, firstly it's based on mastery. And mastery is affected a lot by how much stun assist you actually manage to get. If you get a large amount of stun assist, obviously that's going to have an effect upon your overall score at the end. And if both of you have the same mastery, so you both have a first-class tanker, then it goes down to the number of medals you manage to get. And if the medals are still the same, then it goes down to the win 8 score. Okay, there is a T30 in there, and he takes the hit for 275. Now, if you don't know, these 8-inch howitzer shells, 900 alpha, 52 millimeters of pin, 10.5 meters on the burst radius, between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. Difficult to get a shell over in that particular direction. The buildings too tend to get in the way, and the T30 has just been wiped out. But we've got a turtle over there. Unfortunately, he's going straight under the protection of that building, and it's an indestructible building. So unfortunately, that's not going to do anything, but nice try nonetheless. The enemy's more pushing in the north than they are in the south, and it's a good reason to actually move south, because that T26E4 hasn't been seen for some time. And he could be moving along the A row to try and get to the end. And once he's got to the end, come down the 0 column towards us. Okay, Udas almost fully dialed in. Rounds out. Landed where he was. We'll have to find out if we did get some damage. Next time they see the Udas, if he's lost a lot of hit points, then we know it did get near him. At the moment, he's showing full health. But I suspect that when the BC-176 sees him, it won't be full health. He'll have lost the chunk. We're 1 up on the enemy at the moment. We're closer to the enemy cap. Can't get a shot from those two. BC-176 hasn't seen the Udas yet. He's obviously fallen back. Oh, he has fallen back, but he's lost a chunk of hit points. Yep, he definitely got touched. And so did the conceiver. Now, the other Arty in our team is obviously in grave danger. He actually has taken some damage because he didn't relocate after each shot to avoid counter battery. And so he's now headed south, but the enemy tanks could be going near him very soon. So we're going after the T26E4, who suddenly appeared near his own cap area and fully dialed in. Well, he actually got touched, I think, by 2 artillery shells there. Only 1 up on the enemy at the moment, but the hit points are supposedly the same. It may be that we've actually got an advantage, but we'll have to see. That TT-130, yep, he's gone down. It was the Cobra who got that one. There's the T-26 again. Now, it'd be really helpful if we can get one. She's working on the basis he's going to pull back, rounds out, and yes! Landed next to him for 309 hit points. Our teammate Arty has still not moved. There's the enemy Arty. That's one of the guys who's been firing at us, and he didn't last very long. But remember, there's still another one, and he might be still in that complex of buildings. The Kunstpanzer's probably going to locate him any second, so hold on to the shell. Oh, he's suddenly been lost in battle. I think he accidentally killed himself. He self-deleted. Unfortunately, our Kunstpanzer got taken out by the conceiver. Yep, that's that M53, M55 player decided that he put his gun against the wall and blow himself up, which is not good. Oh, but Angelina takes out the T26E4 with a direct hit on the engine bay. So that's a perfect kill, and that leaves just one enemy left, the Gonzalo. And our fellow Arty didn't actually get intercepted or taken over, but Angelina was very smart by moving over this direction because she did get better shots on the enemy and shorter shell time to target. Yeah, the Gonzalo is going to be difficult to get from here. Need to go up to the one column to get a better angle. And of course get into the bushes. He's hiding behind the building, so there's basically nothing we can do from this angle. We could get into the cap. They left the house standing. Always a good idea to remove that house, because you never know if it might be used. And that's the end of the game, and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third-class tanker for Angelina75 of OLIMP in the M53 M55. She managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. She managed to get 9. But she didn't pick up any other medals, but she did get a win rate of 2,832, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in the game turned out to be the XM57 with 3,775 hit points of damage. Second highest, the BZ176 managed 3,732, and the third highest was the TT130M on the enemy team with 3,011. Angelina got 2,354 in that game, so fair amount of damage, and she's actually in 4th place when it comes to damage in that game. When it came to kills, though, we can see top scorer is the BZ176. He got 5 kills. 3 kills went to the Conceiver, and 2 kills went to the XM57, Angelina, and the TT130M on the enemy team, and their T30. And that guy got a cool-headed for his 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, we can see top scorer was the BZ176 with 1,315, the only player to get over 1,000 base. 976 to the XM57, and 803 went to the IS3A. Angelina only got 682 out of that game, but at least she had a good game and she didn't get counter-batteried at all. And the G-Saw on the enemy team, he got a cool-headed as well. So let's have a look at detail. She fired 14 rounds, which is a good amount for a decent result. Didn't get a lot of stun assists though. 2 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 13 splashes. 2,354 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and that prevented her from getting anywhere near the Confederates. She needed at least 2 more tanks struck to actually get that Confederacy. And 11 enemy stuns were caused, but no stun assist, and that's why it was only a third-class tanker. On a free play account, Angelina made a profit of 34,427 credits, and that includes a 40,000 credit bonus for mission completion. So, yes, that actually was reduced a bit by the ammunition supply, and 1,364 experience points from that game alone. So, at least not 1 point of stun damage, she says, but it is a win. Yeah, that is something. It is a win. So, it starts off the score on this week's or that week's competition, which was 2 weeks ago, with 2,832 in the third class. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens in the next replay. So let's have a look at that one. The second replay is also on the Studzianki map, but it's with the 212A, and talon1958 of OLIMP is commanding, and he's got the improved rammer, vents, and gun lane drive as his equipment, plus vent purge to increase the skill. Game on! We're having a lot of problems with some of our programs, and I'm beginning to think I might have to get a new computer sometime in the very near future, because this one's getting very slow sometimes. Every couple of years or so I have to get a new computer because the previous one just gives up the ghost, which is not surprising when you consider how many videos I do a year. It's at least 2,000 a year, or near enough 2,000 a year. So that is quite a lot of work. And that's why it sometimes needs a bit of recuperation, I suppose is the word. My last computer is still sitting on the floor nearby with the hard drive taken out so I can recover all the material. Okay, she's going for the SMB. Oh, he actually landed it next to the SMB CC67, but he also damaged the 50 TPPR. And he stunned the T95 who was nearby, so he actually got a triple effect off that shot. Now, there is one clause, one condition in the game. If you get an ace tanker, you win the contest outright at that point. There's no need for the contest to continue from that point because, yep, whoever gets the ace tanker first is the winner. Angelina's very good at getting ace tankers. Although I should say, actually, recently she's been looking after her family a lot, and it's been difficult for her to actually get a good game in. And Talon's been also doing his best because, of course, he's having to look after Remy whilst people are away. Rounds out on the M6, and he put that shell exactly in the right spot. He hit the M6Y, took him out, and protected his teammate from any damage. Sometimes it's just a matter of placing the shell the other side of the enemy tank so that the enemy tank protects your own tank, your own teammate, from being hit. Now, it is an encounter game, so not to worry about the capping, because of course that's going on in the factory up at the north of the map. Our guys in the south seem to be doing rather well. That Shure MV7X looks very vulnerable. He's moving for the road. Okay, there. Yep, he got hit points and he got stunned. And he's following his team around the corner. And the Shure MV7X is no longer alive. He didn't get any stun though, so I suspect that the reason is that the Shure MV7X used his first aid kit to get rid of the stun before he got killed. Lots of marks of achievement on his vehicles, which means that Talon is a well-practiced Arty player. He loves it. Of course, most of the members of What Arty Noobs love Arty. They play other tanks as well, but they just prefer Arty because it's a purer form of art. And he's got a kill. He took out the SMB CC67, the one he fired at right at the start of the game, and he also stunned the T95. He isn't picking up much stun assists at the moment, but that may change. From this position down in the south, you can actually shoot at the enemy tanks that are up in the cap area. So it becomes quite a valuable position to actually achieve. The enemy's still got two Artys on their team, an M53, M55, and a Lorraine 155-51. It's a tier 9 game with tier 8 tanks in it. He plants it near the T95 again and puts plenty of stun on him. And he is losing. He's getting stun assists now. He just picked up a huge chunk of it. Over 500 stun assist points there. Standard reload for this Arty is 37.39 seconds. Talon has 29.39. And he puts another shell in, but I don't think he got any stun assist off that one. Now, he has got the communications expert working, which means he's getting extra crew skills. Very important to get that. You can only get that if you can get enough stun assist to actually make it work. Unfortunately, that AMBT just took out our T44, so I think we can reciprocate. Rounds out. Unfortunately, the ridgeline caught that one. Okay, he's a one-shot. He's gone. Okay, we might need to move slightly to the right to get shells around the tower. In fact, now the enemy is slowly falling apart. There's only 4 of them left, and we just saw one of the enemy RTs go down. Our Scorpion got him. There's the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. He's about to die. Rounds out. Well, he's been stunned. And there's the other RT, he's gone. Only one left, it's the Waffenträger. He got rid of his stun. And we're still a fair distance from reloading, so I think the Scorpion's probably going to get him. He seems to have the long thin gun, which is of course the 128mm, the same as the Scorpion. And that's a kill! He placed it there so he could splash the guy to death. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third-class tanker for talon1958 in the 212A. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. And he also got a win rate of 520, which is passable, but it's not great, actually, I'm afraid. It's slightly below average. But, yes, it was a victory. Now, let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see he's way down the table because he didn't do a huge amount of damage, but he did get a number of kills. He got 593 hit points of damage in that game. The highest damage was the Unit 16 R team with 3,822. Second highest, the Standard B with 3,035. And third was the Scorpion G with 2,344. And Talon's way down here at the bottom. When it came down to kills, we can see top scorer was that Unit 16 again. 4 kills to him, 3 kills to DZT159, and Talon is actually in joint second place with 3 kills as well. So not bad at all. The enemy team only got 1 kill, and only 3 of them actually got kills in that game. So they were a bit overwhelmed, you might say. And when it came to base XP, we can see that the high scorer was the Unit 16 with 1,167, the only player to get over 1,000 base. The Scorpion got 985, and the T30, who picked up a Spartan, got 847. Talon got 701, put him about mid-table. And there was an IS-6B in there who managed to get a steel wall with his armor. Yes, so very well done to him, but he didn't get much in the way of hit points, only 260 and 1 kill, but he obviously bounced a lot of rounds using his armor. Let's have a look at detail. He fired only 10 rounds, so less rounds than Angelina, but he didn't get any direct hits in that game, but he did get splashes which caused kills. 12 splashes in total, 593 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, so no chance of getting a Confederate. And 659 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. So at least he did get some stun damage in that game and got his communications expert working. He also got 26 reset points when he hit enemy tanks that were actually sitting in the cap. On a premium count, he actually made 52,256 credits from that game, including a 50,000 credit bonus for a mission achievement. And he also took away 2,103 experience points out of that game as well. As he said, it was shoot and move, shoot and move. And he did the right thing. He was actually following his team around the south end of the map to get better angles on the enemy, and it worked. Just like Angelina did. Of course, Talon taught that to Angelina, and Angelina's following the example, and she did very well. But she was actually more concerned about the fact that the enemy might come into our rear, and so she was relocating, not only to stay close behind her teammates and not only to get better angles, but also self-protection, because Angelina was moving to make sure that the enemy didn't suddenly appear out of nowhere and wipe her out. So after the end of the first 2 games, we can see that if we go back to Angelina's score, Angelina got 3rd class and a bruiser and 2832, whereas Talon got third class and a bruiser and 520. So that means that with this score, Angelina is very much in the lead. And this was on the 26th of June, which is the week before last. So let's have a look in the next video and see if Angelina manages to improve that score. So she's in the lead. Does she keep it? So I hope you enjoyed those two replays. If you did, please give this video a like and thank you for watching.